I'm Harley. I work for Franklin Furnace Archive.
I do murals, a little bit of sculpture here and there. He really helped a lot, a whole lot, by keeping me in check, by trying to bring out ideas. We try to get ideas together. And then finally, he said he collects bottle caps. And what could we do with that? He talked about the whole climate thing, how the world lacks water. And it really inspired me. Talked with Hali. Can you arrange these bottle caps in a way that you feel how it comes to your mind, how it comes to you? And then he did the arrangements, and then I had a painting under it, making it look like a veil over it. And then that particular painting, it's about where I come from. I come from the Igbo culture. I come from Nigeria, first of all, and I'm Igbo. And we had these writings then about all in CBD and all that. And then the woman is representing the CBD designs on her clothes. And it's kind of drowning because we don't really make use of those. It almost looks like the alchemist times, the Greeks, the writings and all. So it really was sad that we, the Igbos, we kind of going from our roots, like trying to deviate. So it's kind of, okay, she's drowning in the moonlight. We called it Igbo York. It really touched me because he talked about water, and water is really important in everyday life, in everyday human life. Clean water. I really loved working on it. I really loved working on it.
I feel Isadora was more than an artist. She was a lifeline to an entire continent for me. In the US, our blinders, we don't know about 53 nations, bigger than US and China and many other nations put together. We just say Africa as if it's one place. But I feel Isadora elevated a bunch of stuff from the recycling bin to a beautiful statement about humanity. So thank you for opening my eyes.
Thank you, Alex, for being a beautiful partner.
My name is Charlie. I live in New York City. I am a multimedia artist, and my stranger, now friend, is Judith. We created a painting portrait that then has like plant life on top of it.
I am a multimedia artist, I guess. I love to paint pictures of plants, but I also work with plants. Like many artists, we have a day job, and my day job is landscaping. It was after looking at Charlie's Instagram page, and I realized that Charlie really liked to draw a portraiture. He had some pictures of one of his friends who dressed up as Ariel. He did a painting from the picture, and then he shipped it to me in California. I added a three-dimensional aspect to it with branches and air plants and dried things. I just like the combination of having live plant material and the actual painting. So who knows what the future holds?
Yeah, it's a living painting that has to be taken care of, which is kind of also an interesting concept because all my other paintings, they're just hanging on the wall and they don't need much attention. But for this new work, it kind of, you need to make sure that it's being taken care of.
I'm a conceptual artist, a producer, a curator, and an educator. And I'm also a board certified expert on nothing. Started very minimalist and gave Paul did all the heavy lifting.
It was a wonderful experience, to say the least. I think I was a little bit scared. I was a little bit nervous about going into this because I've not really worked with another artist before. It was the first time experience for me. I'm sure it was the same for a lot of other artists on the platform as well. But yeah, it was definitely a challenge that was worth taking up. I learned how to sort of simplify things because I usually work in a very in-depth, very explorative, very intense manner. So it sort of lets me filter out what is actually necessary in a picture and actually focus on that. So I guess that's the biggest takeaway I had from the whole experience. And I wouldn't have made, he said I did all the heavy lifting, but that's not actually true. The picture wouldn't have been possible without him, showing me what he showed me. Whoa, what's going on here? It's just a picture of the glass. He made me start thinking about things subjectively rather than objectively. I was thinking about emptiness as a phenomenon because it was an empty glass. Because I was thinking about how do I approach this? How do I attack this picture? If I was thinking about drawing something coming out of the glass, but it all wasn't making sense. But it all came together when I started thinking about it subjectively. Emptiness and all of that. It's safe to say it's mixed media, right? The glass is a photograph, and the black and white sort of leaves branching out of the glass, that's a combination of photography, like collage photography, or a photograph collage rather, and charcoal drawing.
My partner was a woman, Samantha Welton, in the UK. I live in New York, and I suggested that we play a game of exquisite corpse. The surrealists used to do this. I suggested, since I make a lot of experimental movies, that we make a video. So she sent me this image, and on the left side of the frame, there was a rose bush with one red rose on it, and there was a wild fox sitting in the sun. I set up a picture in my house. You're supposed to respond to something in the image. So I saw the red rose, and I had this little red shot glass, and I made a photograph with the shot glass in the same space as the red rose. And I had this little stone fox that was a Zuni fetish. That was my response. And then she responded to that, and we went back and forth, so on and so forth. And we were responding to like a color or a shape or a texture or something like that. I edited it as we went along. Each image kind of lingers so you can grasp it, I thought, and then maybe see the connection between the image that follows. That's our piece.
Eric Hammer. I'm from Torrington, Connecticut. I'm a photographer. That is my art form usually. My partner sent a picture of himself. I had sent him a blurred thing I took from the car. So it's just a sweeping forest, kind of all blurred. That is Chester, I think. I'm not sure. All I knew is that I had to kind of drive. Window was down, and there were two objectives: try to get a nice blur and not kill my car and myself. He sent me this, and I thought, okay, it would look good on the dash, just like right in front, like where he would be as a driver. And actually his hand is up and his fist is up. It looks like he's steering. So you've got the outward and then the inward. You've got like two different perspectives. But I like the fact that he is driving. The image kind of gives you the feeling for speed, and he definitely has an agenda, and we don't know what that is.
My name is Stuart Wilson. I'm the persona man. I had something to do with those crazy characters that you see occasionally. We didn't have much time. We only had 2 weeks. So we started talking. I've seen her work before. She'd been in a couple shows. They're pretty funny pieces. So I said, well, what do we have in common there? And all of a sudden I noticed she had her cat there, and my cat jumped on my lap, and I said, oh, we got humor and cats in common. So let's see if we can put something together. What if two stranger cats got together? What would they have to say? And her cat started talking about these primordial pouches. Then I decided my cat was a little bit less swift about those kind of terms. So I made him kind of like you got me a primordial meerkat. I'm lucky to find my dish at mealtime with all this fur and fat I'm packing. Well, my cat's pretty fat, actually. So that all worked out.